be one or the other.
Thank God.
Binary, it's A or B.
What if it's a tie?
I think if Wings loses this, they're gonna disband.
Oh, well, they are in North America.
So many successes, and then the Northern Arena beat Invitational breaks the juggernaut of the Dota 2 scene.
With the winter bracket finals, no less, not even the grand finals. This is truly where it all happens.
It's
the
all on the line.
quintessential match, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Anywho, Timbersaw taking out first from EHOME, and Wings is actually gonna favor the Spirit Breaker as a first ban. Spirit Breaker first ban, boys. Maybe we were right for once. Maybe it was the vision that they were most scared of. Being able to...
They did that in game 1.
Oh, you don't have
Remember we talked about Kardel and...
we talked about
that
a lot
whole
of
thing
it,
about banning SB
but
first
they're
game
still,
1?
what I'm trying to say is they're still not scared of Puggy.
Yeah.
They're gonna go for the Spirit Breaker. And
Well,
they're
you
gonna
can't
make sure.
first pick Pug, I don't think.
Yeah, they almost never do that.
Well, how about the fact that Wings, with their first pick, ban out the Warlock and instead take the bounty that they had banned previously. So that, therefore showing, I guess, that they are valuing that bounty hunter over the Warlock, which so many teams love.
Also worth noting, we've swapped sides now coming into game 3. EHOME now on Dire, Wings taking Radiant, as well as getting that first pick.
Yes.
And Wings is the team, if I'm not mistaken, they've actually chosen second pick a couple of times, which is semi-atypical right now.
Yeah, a lot of teams would rather take Radiant or take first pick, but second pick is theirs. Bounty Hunter, we haven't seen it much. I think we saw one other time, too. One other time.
This is only the second game Wings has played Radiant this tournament. They've been Dire very predominantly.
Hey, Grant, why do you think the shift went to Radiant being favored as a side?
Easier to jungle, do those things. You can only Venomancer jungle on Radiant. I mean, that's just a little thing. Other ways, it's way easier to rotate through bottom to gank like your safe lane.
Yeah.
I just think it's how the jungle is placed, how easy it is to pull as well, block off the pull and get wards down there.
Safer mid lane.
Yeah, and it's easier to gank like the Ancients, I feel. Some people say Radiant's easier to gank. I think it's easier to gank Dire as Radiant on the Ancients.
Well, we asked where Legion Commander was earlier today.
Yep, going back to their roots, baby.
Yep.
Whoa, Cap, why do you think Radiant's preferred?
I mean, I like all those reasons. I think one of the big reasons is the mid, right? And how mid Radiant is safer, essentially. The wraparound through behind like the tier 1 towers become pretty atypical, or pretty typical, and I think it's been countered so many times.
Yeah.
I think Dire Side's a lot easier to make that invasion and wrap on mid.
Yeah. Now that the Rosh Avenge isn't as big, that takes out a huge chunk.
Alright, can I talk for a little bit?
You may.
Oh, thank you so much. So, Legion Commander, we've had an interview with these guys earlier this week, and they said that the West, doesn't really value this hero that much. It's very highly used over in China, and we're going to see that come out. However, we finally see a resurgence in Sand King, which everybody's been using. He's kind of been ignored a little bit, and now he's taking that precedent over the Legion. Why is that, guys? Why are they picking Sand King?
I know, we talked about the Sand King actually for EHOME, I believe, coming in on the second day when we saw them play, so...
Sorry, I missed that.
picked
like,
up by Wings.
President over Legion?
Yeah, I'm not
So Legion got
understanding.
He got
first.
picked after.
He got picked after?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sand King
so you
got-
could say Legion Commander got precedent over Sand King.
But why did they have precedent over Sand King over the Legion, so they can pick Legion instead of Sand King?
So I think the Legion, again, a hero they've practiced, as well as having to press the attack against the track. I'm just gonna let it go.
Yeah,
I'm
go
just
ahead.
gonna
Sorry,
leave
sorry.
them, you know?
Well, they could have picked Legion. Well, they picked Sand King.
Well, no, the Legion,
The Legion got picked first.
Well, why did they pick or Sand
God
King?
damn it, Slark.
Production,
This is why we
can
don't let
get
you
that
talk.
shut
We
off?
just got Jabeta, guys.
Okay, so you're Bobcax. You're talking about the
Hated.
fact that you have pressed the attack to counter the track.
Yeah.
I heard that much. What else were you trying to say?
I don't know anymore.
Okay.
Everything's gone.
I like the fact personally that both Jakiro and Legion Commander can deal with Bounty Hunter really well. Tankier supports a pretty value. Against the Bounty Hunter's harassment early, nice sustain, make sure there's no easy track pickoffs. And I think Legion Commander is also a hero that's going to be able to keep some other heroes at bay. Like the Slark that we saw last game from Wings is tougher to run when there's a Legion Commander in the game. But Sand King, pretty valuable offlaner. That's most likely going to be our offlaner because we have a Bounty Hunter support. Very, very unlikely to see Sand King support when you don't have a setup.
I think they should ban the Rubik here, just because it's a nice combination with the Jakiro, works excellently against the Sand King. It's also okay against the Bounty Hunter, like it's hard to just pressure solo onto a Rubik, like he can't hold you in place and stuff, and counter. And we know, EHOME would love to run it, I'm sure, with the Steel and the Burrow Strike.
Interesting bans from Wings Gaming here. Lycan and Silencer taken out.
The Wings game.
I mean, the Lycan is definitely a little interesting, but it would create this sort of deathball push that is hard to be able to eat through. I think push lineups and general grouping up is quite strong versus Bounty Hunter.
5 seconds
Yep.
remaining.
No doubt.
Indeed.
Slacks is making weird faces.
I'm
again.
giving you a thumbs up. I agreed with your point, man.
And Silencer is the counter to channel spells. We've seen that plenty of times where people run Sand King, and it's another channel ability that's pretty
Just
popular.
Enigma was even a class 1, honestly.
Of course. Well, you know, there's nothing more sad than that. Those big, powerful channel spells getting canceled globally. Woo! Then breaks a man harder than seeing all that hard work go to waste.
Yes.
All right, Tidehunter now
Oh.
for EHOME. They did pair this with the LC against Complexity in Game 1.
Alright, this is like a race to Rubik, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you've got Jakiro, Tidehunter, even like LC on the other side, then Sand King, and well, whoever they pick next year for Wings. Some pretty awesome steals.
I think I was thinking about Rubik for Wings when you brought it up. I was like, Rubik wouldn't be bad for Wings, but I think don't they need a defensive hero against Liege Commander? Like Dazzle got banned away
Yeah,
for a reason,
for
right?
Wings, I could see.
So is Oracle value here? Is Shadow Demon? Is what other defensive
I think
heroes? are still in the
OD might have
pool?
been kind of value too, to be honest.
May I?
You may.
A Omni Knight
5
would pair
seconds
nicely
remaining.
with the
But you have a
Sand
Bounty
King.
Hunter.
But that doesn't matter. Yeah, Omni
Okay.
Knight and Bounty Hunter are great. You could do the
Reserve
Ghostbuster
time.
combo. Where you go invis and then you burst them while you're invis and finish it up with a nice cut to the gut.
Bum 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 bum
Dun,
bum.
dun.
Yeah, there is some merit there, Slacks, for sure. A couple of issues with an Omni Bounty supporting cast.
What are you
Your
talking about?
your your zoning potential maybe leaves a little bit to be desired, but
I don't think we need to talk about the problems with Slacks' suggestions.
yeah. What does EHOME want here to round this out, though?
Tell you, these drafts are a lot more interesting to watch than a lot of the other region stuff.
Do you think they could like switch things around? You know, you've got this potential mid Legion Commander now facing up against a Razor. You all of a sudden go, aha,
Yeah.
Legion Commander 4 position. I mean, you'd be facing a Bounty Hunter, so I guess that doesn't really
my.
work.
I think they'll probably dual offlane it with the Tusk like they did before
Yeah.
with the Claw.
That's a Tusk.
A Tusk!
In case you didn't see, yeah.
Yep. One of the more underrated heroes right now. I think Wings and EHOME kind of the only two playing this guy.
Was it against the Sand King as well, where we talked about that big Epi Burrow coming in and then the multiple saves through the snowball, like, kind of like the AoE disruption, same idea behind
That was,
canceling out that big ulti?
That was the Tusk Clockwork dual
Yeah,
offlane,
I
right?
think it was against the Sand King, right? Or it was,
yeah,
I know there was at least a spend too, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this is going to be some sort of weird.
They run position 1 Legion too.
You are right.
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was Game 2 Wings versus FDL. They had the Tusk alongside a Potom, Clockwork, Luna, and Warlock against Sand King, Sven, Skywrath, Ogre, Jug.
Yeah.
EHOME was the team that ran that mid Tusk, right? Right? The 3-position weird mid Tusk. I'm sure that's not going to happen here, but I just can't really piece why they picked this hero.
I don't know. I guess Wings are, they saw Wings do it, and they're like, all right, we're going to do it. We saw how you guys handled that up against Sand King, now we want it.
I mean, there's some cool synergy with like Legion Commander and Tide. You can start off with maybe, Tide doesn't need an early Blink Dagger. He can go for other items. You have some initiation power there. Get LC to close the gap.
I mean, the Tusk Clockwork makes sense to me because you can snowball bring Clockwork inside, then you are able to cogs on the
Yeah.
enemy carry or the support that's out of position, right? You can punish, you can play super active and get kills. I'm not sure if you could do that with Tidehunter.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward pairing. Morphling now, 4th pick for Wings. All right. Signature hero for EHOME now going on the other side.
What kind of synergy does that have? Sparkling here?
This whole draft, like, they just feel like they're drafting heroes. I don't know. I don't watch much Chinese
Lincoln's
Dota.
Builders.
In general, you're just looking at like, okay, I want a late game carry here because you know that if you look at the lineup from Wings so far, or excuse me, from EHOME, it's a lineup that's going to guaranteed run out of steam. So if you just get the better hard carry, you'll win the game. And this is a good Morphling game because he doesn't have any disables that he's really scared of. He gets a Lincoln's, he deals with duel. Right, because Legion Commander doesn't have another way to pop that unless you get some sort of active item to be able to do that, and even then, you can still morph through duel, correct? So, then you can still tank up. Like, they don't have a position to be able to grab a hero that punishes Morphling unless they run mid Legion Commander and then pick up like a safe lane Anti-Mage. But then you've got the mid Legion Commander facing up against the Razor. They don't have a support position open for an Ancient Apparition, which would be another potential way to punish Morphling pickup.
Lich now, final pick for Wings.
Yeah,
Pretty much
so
just
that's
goes
what it
with what
looks
Cat
like.
says. Yeah,
Yeah,
they just want to out late
stabilize.
game.
Wait, what?
Do good. What do you mean?
Repeat, please.
looks like they're just trying to stabilize, I'd say. Just make sure the lanes don't get totally run over. Make sure you're secure in a spot that you're not going to completely lose mid-game, and then just get to the late part and win.
Just play straight up, conservative, farm efficient.
And they know there's some sort of dual lane scenario, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
From EHOME,
like, you
so
have to
There
attack.
almost has to be.
yeah, Lich will punish that in the safe lane, and then, like, most likely Wings are going to be running Bounty Hunter with, like, Sand King or harassing mid or whatever, because we still don't know how EHOME
Yeah, their lanes are super tough to do.
Yeah.
round up their lineup.
With that Tusk Tidehunter, it does seem more likely that'll be the duo, but then Legion, it almost seems like Legion has to go top, like against the Razor. I mean, you can do it, but you're guaranteeing that Legion's going to go off to a bad start, and that's a hero that we've seen be rarely successful, and when it is successful, it's a heavy snowball.
What about a safe lane OD, right? So they put like Jakiro Legion mid or something. So Jakiro's just trying to secure the Legion farm and harass the Razor. And then they put Tusk bottom with Tidehunter. It would give you at least a hero to be able to deal with Morphling, right? OD is very favorable because it burns through mana, and it's a hero that could beat out the Sand King. It's a little difficult with the Bounty Hunter, I guess, involved, but
What do we
I can't think of another carry that makes sure you beat Morphling.
I mean, there's obviously the Anti-Mage was no classic.
But
about
I don't think they have the space for that.
Oh,
Okay.
Huskar and Tuskar.
This is something.
So this looks like aggro situation now, possibly, where
So,
you might use like Snowball and Huskar. and
How
things
rare
like
is
that.
it now to see a Huskar without a Dazzle or Oracle? Just a casual Huskar.
I would say pretty
Rarely
rare.
ever.
Very rare.
Very
indeed.
rare.
All right. Well, we're going to have to hand it over to our caster soon here, guys. An insane draft on both sides. Cap, I want to start with you. Prediction.
I feel like Wings really did back them into a corner with that pickup of the Morphling. I don't know how the Huskar and how their lanes are necessarily going to break down, so that's the big question mark for me, but I feel more comfortable with Wings here in this game 3.
I think the pressure, I'm just going to go with it. You know, if they're picking this Huskar, they must have something super solid in plan. Come down, maybe pressure into that Morphling, slow them down enough that they can take over with this Legion Commander and actually snowball into a victory here for EHOME.
5 seconds.
Want Husker to win, want EHOME to win, but I just think, it's just an overall better draft by Wings.
Yeah, I think Lich is going to find his first victory this event, Wings.
You know, snow is just a hard worker's water, and these guys are going to drink of victory. I'm going with Tusk on EHOME.
All right, and with these bold predictions, we'll hand it over to our casters once again, Mott and Purge, to take it away.
Thanks so much, guys. Some great thoughts by Slacks and crew. Of course, it is game number 3. We're about to get underway. But with game number 3, of course, we get some interesting picks here, including both this Tusk and Huskar.
Yeah, I feel like the Huskar was a reaction pick to the Morphling. They needed something that was going to be able to combat him, at least in the mid-game, a really early fight here.
Oh, we got to start.
Don't worry, we didn't see what happened, but I guarantee what happened was EHOME was, they popped smoke as 5, they walked into a bounty hunter, the smoke broke, and they popped the dust, and then they found an easy kill on the bounty. Very common thing that a lot of bounties have to be very worried about right now. Thank you, Observer, I'm smart. So, the really big impact of the draft here is that the Morphling pick helps guarantee EHOME advantage against EHOME's aggressive dual lane, which was expected to be something like either a Tusk +1 or maybe even an aggro try. But because of Ice Shards blocking somebody off, Morphling can just waveform over that. So that one vulnerable carry hero wasn't going to be a problem anymore. So this is why EHOME was put in this weird position where they're forced to pick a Huskar. I don't even know if they were planning to pick Legion or Sylar here. Excited to see how he does. He almost never dies. I love seeing Legions have really great games, but I just don't know if this is the one it's going to be.
Yeah, this does seem a bit tough for EHOME. We'll see how things shape up. Of course, with the start of the game, we will have what seems to be an aggressive try lane coming out from EHOME. Not too shocking. Radiance lanes for Wings not really shaping up just yet. Everyone's kind of sitting around mid with the exception of Innocence as well as, of course, this Sand King. And it looks like for now, it will just be the safe lane Razor. Maybe with some help, but Ice Ace, of course, he's going to sit with this Lich and try to help out in this dual lane mid.
Very interesting setup here with Hyde in the mid lane.
Yeah, this
and
is,
their aggro try as well, trying to deny what Wings could get out of the safe lane. So they're sending Razor bottom now. This is very bizarre. I kind of like old 11 Tide versus Morphling, since if you anchor smash Morph, it's going to reduce a lot of his damage output. That part's pretty cool. But to deny him farm with Sacrifice, I think that's a big advantage to EHOME, actually. They're going to try to kill the bounty here.
There's the Snowball. Got some vision as well. He might be able to get the dust off the will, but here's the static link, and it looks like they won't get this kill. Lonham's going to have to back up. Stole 31 damage. The dual breath, for some reason, Innocence came back in. I think he should still be alive here as he has the Tango healing him back up.
I actually loved how he played that there. He popped his Invis to force the dust and instantly ate a Tango to break the Invis. That way he wasn't slowed by the Invis. Really good play there, guaranteeing 90 less gold for EHOME.
Old 11 is going to have to salve up in this mid lane. 4 last hits for that
Ooh, this is
Morphling.
dangerous.
Strike, body blocks coming out. Maybe the caustic finale. It is level 1. Won't be enough. Of course, only doing a little bit of damage to that first level. But already Sylar forced to salve against this solo Sand.
Yeah, he's having a great time. Not a very good lane to play Legion versus Sand King just because of caustic there. Lots of harass on the old 11. He's going to get low, probably fine though with the anchor smash.
Yeah. They had already used that waveform as well from the Morphling. And Morphling himself took a lot of damage. Sylar, again, caustic finale, still doing work. Burrow Strike coming out. I mean, Sylar is just getting harassed crazy, but at least the CS is even in terms of 6 last hits.
Yeah, Faith Beyond even prioritizing harass there over getting a last hit. He hit that range creep just so a dying time to blow up on top of Legion. If he can completely out harass him from a regen standpoint, he's going to win that lane big time.
So far, it looks pretty good for at least this mid and top lane for Wings. Bottom lane is a bit more tough, of course, with the Huskar there for now.
This could be a kill.
Blast, and it looks like Shadow won't go for the waveform. He thought for a second, but it is only level 1 waveform, so not much damage. Might have been enough to kill him at level 2, though.
Yeah, he's also, as Pim points out, he only has 6 points of base strength, so that would have been a couple tower hits and a death, and maybe a tide kill. Not something you want to chance when you have an advantage like a Lich Morphling dual lane.
So he plays it smart. Innocence was there to help out as well, but it looks like the tide does regen back up regardless. And again, more action happening bottom lane against the Razor now. Ice Shards, he just gets through. Ice Path will connect. They might keep going for this. Dual Breath is there. He gets blocked. He doesn't go the right way. He's stuck in the trees. And he's going to give away a kill to EHOME. He goes in the wrong area. Not a juke spot, unfortunately, and he will fall.
Really big plays there. Wings playing an off-lane Razor, essentially. It's not the biggest thing in the world, the biggest problem, I should say, because Morphling's doing well in the mid lane, but at some point, that's really going to add up. A Huskar is a hero that you can aggro tri-lane, but because of the heroes they have, they don't really have that opportunity. Bounty Hunter plus Lich as an aggro tri, it's not good. It takes at least until level 2 till Lich gets online. Bounty certainly isn't really ready until much later either, once your opponents have detection and snowball and stuff.
Looks like they will go for a dive. Sylar in some trouble. Overwhelming odds will come out looking for the Janata first, and Faith Beyond really holding this Burrow Strike and not deciding to use it. Here's the TP in from Garter. Snowball's up into Faith Beyond, not doing that much damage, but he's an entire creep wave on him. He will get out. Still, the Bounty shadowing Sylar, making sure he's pushed all the way back to the base, and he will be. Sylar will take the long trip home.
That was super well done by Sylar. Gets the movement speed, gets away from the one hero that can disable him while it's the Sand King. So, nice play by him.
And here's the Razor down bottom. 5 last hits. Not great. Not a great start, but I mean, again, this is a very tough lane for Link down bottom.
It is, and the worst thing is that even if he saps damage from Huskar, he can still damage him with the Burning Spear, so I don't even think the Huskar cares that much if he ends up getting sapped there. Gonna try to swipe for it.
Oh, Old 11 gets it anyways. He was right in front of him, too. There is a double damage rune down to the bottom rune spot, which would be nice for Shadow to take, but might just give it to Lich instead.
Yeah, it's a pretty huge steal there. And Faith Beyond, despite getting dual lane now, he's still pretty happy with his start. He's up to level 5 already. Yeah, he's got gold, he's got levels, just needs to pick up 6, and then he's going to start getting active. I think the place to start actually is going to be in the safe lane. Below Huskar up, he doesn't have somebody like a Shadow Demon, or an Oracle, or a Dazzle. He's got a Snowball, which is kind of similar, but that's about it. Not much defense there, so magic damage can certainly kill him in the early game.
And that's if Garter is even in position to save him with that Snowball, which he might not be. Down bottom, it looks like Garter's not even there. They will use the Janata the static, but somehow Blink gets in range for at least a little bit of tap damage. It's 24, but again, Old Chicken very speedy, starting to run at Blink, and Blink will have to hightail it out of there, and will make it away.
That was a lot of damage. He's got a salve ready, though. They can go back in if needed.
Lost Flash. There's the Plasma Field. Static Witch not back up. Ice Path does a nice job of stopping this. There's going to be the Huskar's heal.
What a dual breath.
It should be enough, and it will be. That dual breath slow, as you talked about. And now Blink's getting low. Salve is up. Coming up from Old Chicken. Frost Blast will go. Ice Ice in trouble. Burning Spears will burn him down, and inevitably his Ice Ice should fall here, and will. Old Chicken does get the kill. And that was a good attempt from Wings, but just the great rotation coming out. Garter's there. Press the attack. Faith Beyond Sandstorm. He's got to use it.
He's got a nuke in 5.
Yeah.
He's got to run.
Overwhelming odds. Burrow Strike to the low ground, and he won't get there with that overwhelming odds to get the kill.
Somewhere in the world, Slacks is playing Nintendo games on his Game Boy and yelling Sandstorm. He's really excited at that sand. Oh, it's a big kill on mid lane.
Last waveform, Anchor Smash, get it hit on Shadow. It looks like the damage is there, or rather not there, to bring him down as the Anchor Smash debuff was up and ready.
Yeah, he's going super defensive. Max armor, max anchor. It's all he needs to reduce what Morphling does in the lane stage. Waveform's still a big deal, but if he's not getting killed here, and he's almost level 6, I think he's getting his job done.
Now, that's very true. Do you think that this is enough so far for him, EHOME a good enough start? Because, I mean, we talked about the Huskar pick, obviously. Are they doing well enough here the first 6 minutes of this game, Purge?
Kind of, yes. I'm a little concerned, though. I feel like Sylar is on the verge of getting killed in this lane, depending on the good rotation. And Blink has been pressured in the safe lane, but he hasn't really faced massive losses. He's only got 12 last hits, but Razor is a little bit more of an early mid-game hero, might have some trouble catching up. But I have a lot of faith in what Morphling's able to do this game. And that's what EHOME has to be worried about. They've got duel, they've got magic damage, they have some really good teamfight ultimates, but as long as Wings gets active in a couple short minutes here, I think they should be able to take a big advantage.
Wait and see. 6 minutes into the game, 6:30. Waveform up again. Old 11 does have the infused raindrop, rather tanky on top of that too. So he'll be alright.
He's still got terrible last hits, 16 versus the 41 and 14 of Morphling, but...
Yeah, he's getting outlasted a little bit, I'd say.
Okay, Sentry down, they're going to spot Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, he's going to walk right into the vision. EHOME have at least some idea. Well, they know that he's here, but they are not going with Garter with the snowball
Their
yet.
plane is so smart. They're not acting at all like they see him.
Charge won't connect, though.
They didn't stutter for a moment when they saw the bounty.
Yeah,
but he played it real safe. Sees those heroes, they knows they're probably going to have detection.
3-0. EHOME still putting a lot of pressure on this bottom lane. They're not breaking up this aggressive tri lane yet. They want to get as much done as possible, perhaps getting that first tower. Liquid Fire will bring it down, but they do have the Ice Armor at level 1 for Ice to help out with that push.
That'll help a lot, actually. Just reduce Huskar's attack speed, things like that. Ice Armor is amazing in the early game for reasons like that. Shadow going to break another raindrop here. It doesn't get hit by the Anchor Smash, so... Running low, down to 1 charge left.
Only the one left, so need to break that, and then they can maybe think about going on a kill. The Tidehunter should have 6 soon, if not already, and have his Ravage ready to go. But
it's just so important that Morphling denies Tidehunter constantly, because as long as he gets the experience, it's not as bad. But if he farms at a semi-comparable rate as what Morphling's getting, then EHOME's obviously getting more out of the game and out of the lanes than Wings is. So he's doing a great job in his lane.
There is that early armlet, though, coming up for Huskar. They can start moving around together as a team. We'll see if Old Chicken really wants to take his tower or fight bottom, or if he TPs elsewhere.
Yeah, they're trying to slow things down, but Liquid Fire helping a lot to limit the tower's HP. Got some Plasma Field too, a bottle pickup actually by Blink, really good pickup because it's going to guarantee way more mana than you could have, other than like a Basilius wouldn't do nearly as much, so just got to keep the waves killed, but Ice gets caught.
Yeah, the Ice Shards will block him in, he did not move, Dual Breath, Plasma Field. Chain Frost is bouncing, but it's not enough. Meanwhile, Garter, Snowball comes in, look at this damage, I have the storm, and here comes Faith beyond the waveform as well. More than enough damage, that is absolutely worth it, as the Huskar does fall, and it's only for Ice the Lich.
That was really nicely down there. Oh, waveform, he's going to chase this, he might be able to get this kill.
There it is, he does the damage, body blocks, he only needs maybe 2 auto attacks, and he gets it. Shadow finds himself a kill this time. Yeah. No assist, and that's 3 dead for EHOME just for that Lich. That's it. Great trade.
Look at those net worths on the left side. Wings has massive net worth advantages. That's because they were last hitting in 3 of their waves, and finally they get the rotation in that I was talking about. The impactful part was how long the Lich held his Chain Frost. If he throws that right away, they get the snowball off, and they're in a better position. But if he holds until the last moment until he dies, it delays the snowball. They have to sit in the snowball until the Chain Frost goes away, and that gives more time for heroes like Morphling to finish their TP and to get the rest of their allies ready to set up. So a massive rotation from Wings, absolutely upending EHOME's advantage.
And this puts, I mean, we talked about the ratio. He wasn't getting the most CS in the world, but he still is now 3rd in the net worth. He's only 500 behind that of Old Chicken. And he was getting pretty dominated in terms of getting pushed back, in terms of not being able to find the farm, but they will dust up Innocence. This could be a kill, and it should be. The duel will come out, and it might be the first of the game that is successful, and will be. 1 for 1 right now for EHOME, and Slark gets on the board.
Yeah, those kills are really needed. It's not necessarily for the fact that Bounty's dead. It's all about getting plus damage towards the Legion. He's got to carry this game. It's him or Huskar. And ideally, both of them being farmed is going to make that easier.
And they get the kill, and then they immediately transition into a tower. There's no Ice Armor here to help out. Well, they might trade, though, as Faith Beyond's doing the same in the top lane. He won't be able to find a kill, obviously, but he can still get this tier 1 tower in this top lane.
And that kind of offsets a lot of what EHOME was trying to get out of that. Wings is always going to be a bit vulnerable, but with carries like Morphling and Scouters like Bounty Hunter, I think they're mostly set.
Innocence not again. You just respawned, my friend, and he is going to go down. They're going to have to use the dust there, too.
Yeah, that's a death that really shouldn't happen. He's low level, but because his team is winning, he's giving a lot of gold to the enemy team. At least no dual damage that time. Doesn't lose much himself, but giving a lot to Tusk. That means faster Arcane Boots, maybe even a Blink Dagger that could counter Epicenter.
And I did want to just talk about this. The Blink Dagger for Sankey is now up at 10 minutes. Very good farm for Faith Beyond. It's kind of what we expect out of this offlane. It's one of the best in the world by far.
Yeah, and great at solo as well. So We'll see if they end up going for a fight at this tier 1. EHOME is going to try to pressure. They've got... Oh, they actually TP'd the Tide away. They definitely fight now.
Yeah.
They're going to go in.
They have the pincer coming in from the Sand King as well. This could be a great burrow swing if you find it, but Old Chicken is going to get caught into the epicenter first. Ice Path is their time. It is not. Overwhelming out comes in. Garter is in trouble. Snowball will delay them for a moment, but it's going to get pulled back. Sylar waiting to come into the backside. A double kill for Shadow. Innocence is actually shadowing Sylar. There's the Janata. They want this kill. They have the Blink Dagger and Burrow Strike back up in a second or so. There it is. They'll find it. Can they get this kill? Zerkin should be up. They have the Frost Blast Plasma Field. He's so fast. He might be able to get out another burrow in a couple of seconds. Back towards mid. Shadow should avoid that damage. Rest of the attack comes out, and it looks like Legion will narrowly make it away. They just didn't have the damage with that Burrow Strike coming out.
Still great engagement for them, though. As soon as the Tide TP'd away, they knew that they could take a fight. I don't even think Tide has Ravage, by the way. He hasn't even skilled it yet. Prioritizing for more armor, but Burrow Strike landing.
Hero waveform, it's that quick. The Chain Frost now will bounce to the crypt, and it bounces back. The Ravage comes in, but it bounces again the third time. Old Chicken, and more bounces. The Snowball. Old Chicken cannot man up. It's 3 dead, and it might as well be 4. Waveform comes in. EHOME lose everything, and that Lich is laughing from his grave.
Yeah, there's no... Oh my god, I haven't seen a good Chain Frost like that in so long. It just didn't stop hitting heroes. I thought it was going to get a double bounce, hitting Tide twice, but cleaning up the Huskar's HP pool, it just did everything in that engagement.
I can't. That was a sick set of bounces for Lich. Sometimes you play that hero and you're like, I can never get a good bounce in my life. And that time it was the complete opposite coming out for Ice.
Really was. Amazing plays by Wings, winning fight after fight. The Ravage was used defensively, and they still lost 4 heroes as well. Not a level 6 on bounty, so no track gold going to Wings, but considering how well their heroes are going to scale in the late game, this is looking bad. I don't even think they need track to win this game. Bounty could grab stats, I think.
When you get track. 4 kills like that, you lose a Lich, I think you're good to go. This tower is also very low on top.
They're going to die just to put a ward behind the tower with Bounty Hunter. Now they're just looking for an engagement. They still don't have Epicenter. They don't have Chain Frost. It's a little iffy for now, but at some point in the next 7 minutes, they're definitely going to approach and try to take that tier 1.
And obviously Shadow continues to get farm up to 6k net worth. He's still getting a good bit of room. Faith Beyond is going to spot this smoke. They won't find him, at least not yet. He blinks out. He's gone. Smoke gone. Smoke done. Will not find a kill. At least they shouldn't find a kill for EHOME.
He totally read that. EHOME would have smoked around, possibly approaching the mid push from behind. They're still going to do that, but the tower's already dead. And a double damage on Morphling. They could actually maybe fight this, trying to get him to duel it.
Yeah, there it is. The duel on the Replicant. Wait for him, and he wants to fight too. Even without it, they'll find a kill bottom. And here comes the Snowball Ice Path. He does have that strength for it. It might not be enough. He's taking a lot of damage. Huskar really wants this kill. The toggle comes out. Wait for him. It's there, but there comes the life break, and Old Chicken gets a much needed kill. Here's Beyond. They have the plasma field that should do the job, and it will. They actually get a double from Blink after rotating down bottom, getting the Tide Hunter. Here's the Macro Fire Ice Path, not connecting. Blink still from the low ground. Blink up from Faith Beyond. He really wants something on him. Burrow struck, but there's no follow-up. Not yet anyways. Old Chicken, life break back in. That's pretty dangerous. Here's the Chain Frost. Can he toggle in time? Absolutely not. Another Chain Frost bounce. A double kill, and Sylar might get caught. There's the track up. He's got some good move speed. No mana for the Shuriken. The Janata's there. Right-clicking. It might be enough. He's sitting at 20 HP. Blink is dying for the tier 4s. He won't get it. Oh my god, he doesn't get the kill. He was freak so out. Low. And Blink is now getting snowballed on. He's at half health. The Warriors Punch Wings have gone too far. Blink, the Urn's up on him. They just need one more auto attack or damage, and he will tick down. Tusk gets the kill, gets the dominating spree. Oh, he went for the tier 4. He went for it all.
Did you see Sylar there? He didn't flinch at all. So, I lived. Cool. No problem. Let's just look at the other rest of the fight now. Amazing survive there by him. Barely getting out in time. Phase Boot's big time paying off. And Wings really thinking they had that fight. It looked great. The duel was wasted, but against 3 heroes, Morphling's a little bit weak, turns out.
Yeah, he was alone. I mean, I think Wings were saying we were going to come and help you out, but they were dealing with the Tide Hunter bottom. They did get that kill, but the Morphling falling there is almost a bigger trade, and in fact, it should be a bigger trade for EHOME.
Yeah, and any advantage like that you give to a hero like Huskar always provides the threat that he's going to get out of control, and especially the Razor overdiving. I thought he was going to be able to kill the Legion Commander, but it didn't happen.
Here we go, Faith Beyond. Beyond, Blink Burrow, they'll find the Huskar, Plasma Field, no static move, good Ice Path cover up. They have Ravage, they're trying to run up, but again, Old 11 slowed down. Glyph goes, Sentry catches the Observer Ward, but Old 11 says, nope, we want this vision advantage, and they still have it for now.
You almost got to be so careful here. There's always the threat of the Epicenter with Blink. If he can land that on 2 or 3 heroes, the fight's over almost every time.
Gush comes out. Chain Frost still not off cooldown here. They don't have that big ability that has won them some crucial team fights and gotten some kills. I'm putting the liquid fire up. Hopefully, old chicken's there. With of course the spears.
They might go now.
Link Burrow. They'll find the damage. Old chicken press the attack in. The armor coming out. Macro fire. The snowball, and they might just get this tower back. Deny it. Can they get it? Yes, Link will. Waveform in. Here comes Shadow, looking for more. He's a little bit alone. Get the Warriors point up. Link Burrow onto 2. Chain Frost again. Bouncing one hit Garter and bring him down. He's solo. In fact, will fall to the Chain Frost yet again. Not only that, but everybody solo. They've already gotten Syla, Old on him, as well as Old Chicken. Waveform coming in from Shadow. The replicants there, and now the adaptive. They get a double kill for it. It's 4 dead. Finally, Wings turn it back around with another huge engagement.
It was looking a little okay for EHOME, but all of a sudden, man, the nukes came through. They separated the fight a lot as well. Big gold change going to the Bounty Hunter in that engagement, but the fact that Razor got to separate the Legion Commander, that meant that the Ravage did nothing to interrupt that death, and they were able to chase the rest of them down with the Chain Frost. The Chain Frost have been magical this game. This guy's doing more damage than probably the Sand King in terms of team fight.
It's been at least like a 3 bounce Chain Frost every single time. And the bounces aren't going to like different creeps, they're going back to the heroes. Bouncing in such a way that it is huge damage, like you mentioned, coming out for this Lich.
And check out the build on Sylar here. Goes for a Vlad's. That's because they know that they're not going to win this late game against the enemy heroes. They've got to win the fights now. He's going to duel him.
Oh, he will get out narrowly.
He can't win that fight 1v1 anyways. He's got extra lifesteal here and armor and stuff like that. But if anybody else is behind him, such as Sand King, it could just spell his doom.
And now they have the Lincoln Spear too, so Shadow use the duel on him. They don't break it first. All of a sudden, that's a wasted duel and perhaps maybe some depths on EHOME's side. But we do have a pretty massive advantage. I would imagine if we check out the gold graph, Wings should be ahead fairly.
That's more than fairly a massive advantage here. It's good.
10,000.
50% extra or so.
Almost a 10,000 network advantage here at 18 minutes in, and they're going to find more. Epi Center, they have to track up, they have to damage, they have to waveform, they have to kill. Old Chicken will fall.
That one's real hard to armlet toggle.
Yeah, that's not easy.
And now they're going to be able to pressure the mid tier 2 because of this. EHOME very likely won't be able to stop this, but they can slow it down at least. Drop a macro pyre, delay it for 30 seconds. That's what Lanham's going to try to do here. He has to do it without getting caught though. There isn't anything like a Bat Rider on the enemy teams. This is a little bit easier, but they clearly have anti-push nukes. Press the attack, overwhelming odds, all that stuff can really stop creeps dead in their tracks.
It's not an easy push game for Shadow. He got very low. He's able to get out, but
why did he take so much damage? He must be really
he's
agility
like
morphed right now.
almost all agility, I would imagine.
Yeah, he really is.
Yep, 6 strength.
That's cutting a little close.
Like 800 HP.
His opponents are not liking for nukes, that's for sure, so he's got to be a little careful here.
You see, like, maybe going full Agi when you have a Scotty or something, but like this early on in the game, even with only a Lincoln Spear, it's still not that much HP.
Yeah, I'd like it. You could E-Blade as well, of course. Maybe the safer build, just because somebody gets dueled, you can E-Blade the Legion or your ally, depending on who you prefer. Same thing against Huskar. Nuke the Huskar, make him take more magic damage, and he can't attack either. Can be a really good tool. That or Scotty, both are pretty great in
I think
different ways.
he'll get the Scotty inevitably, but I would assume it would be the Ethereal Blade next, just because of how much new damage he's been doing this game too. They've been setting up some kills with the Burrow Strike, and even this Huskar, like you talked about, magical damage, not really that much of an issue. They're able to burst him down through all sources of damage coming out.
Huskar's passive is not what it used to be.
No.
Anti-Mage is actually harder to kill with magic now, I dare say.
No. It's starting to become Wings taking over the map. EHOME are still a bit brave going into their own jungle for now, but again, you're losing all these towers. The tier 2 towers go on top lane. There's a tier 2 mid. It's taking some damage. And map control is, as it should be, starting to be in favor of Wings here.
Yeah, and big team fight items too. Like I said before, they have the Vlad's picked up. Mech is finished on Tidehunter now. Pretty nice advantage to have. On the other side, it's mostly things like drums and just the general skill utility that they have. Medallion on Lich, actually, interesting pickup. Probably going to be for a Solar Crest, very good item at helping kill Huskar. If he ever gets out of control in terms of items, usually opts for things like Heaven's Halberd, puts a plate mail on top of that, and then he becomes really hard to kill with physical damage. This is actually really scary for Morphling. Doesn't have his ulti.
Yeah, it's down for 15. He's able to get out nonetheless.
Gets out just in time.
And he got the tower too, so the tier 2 tower is now gone. EHOME are starting to look for something. They'll push up.
That could have been a great punish there, but no mobility item on Legion Commander now farming that. Makes the Vlads look a little iffy, but considering how difficult it is for them to jump in and kill one person with just a duel, I don't think the fast blink would have really helped that much. Just would have made ganks easier. So they're going to try to go for Roche here. This is going to be a bit of an iffy fight. If EHOME can get this, Ideally, right before Wings gets there. This could completely change the game.
They should maybe know this is happening. I think they might have spotted a couple. They're going to send the illusion in, and now they will absolutely know. Shadow is going to back away from Night Charge. More tracks coming out, for instance, to try to get as much vision as you possibly can. They have the Ravage. There's the Mech now up as well as World 11.
That's way better there.
This could be a better fight for EHOME than it has been. But the Epicenter will find one that James Frost, and it bounces again. The old chicken continues to do so. Up to the ancient, and it will keep going for at least a little while. Shadow will find the double, and already this fight has gone disastrously for EHOME. It is time to back, but there is Face Beyond again. Another Burrow Strike. Garner has to use the snowball to save himself, but it looks like it's just making space for the other two to get out. Garner will fall Shuriken. They actually can get Sylar out of here. He was looking to go back in, but they've stayed too long. Jakiro Burrow Struck, and now with Shadow trying to get more enough. They have a double damage up, like they have the plasma shield, they have the damage. They've lost 4. Sylar will be the only remaining hero to survive here for EHOME, and another disastrous fight for that squad.
Yeah, this game's just out of control. It looked so good with Tidehunter standing there all imposing, but he just got hit with an Epi Burrow and a Chain Frost, and he died instantly. Didn't have time to pop his mech, didn't have time to Ravage. It's not one of those problems you normally encounter as Tidehunter. Usually you anticipate that kind of survivability, but he wasn't able to get a cloak up in time. He's too far behind, and the instant death means straightforward fight for Wings.
Roche, old chicken, looking to contest it. It's not falling as quick as they would like it. The overwhelming odds, all of a sudden, Wings might be in trouble here. If they're not careful, it's the Ravage that comes through. Now Face Gun coming back in. He gets the Aegis Snatch. The Burrow Strike out, wait from away. Yes, he will lose his life. He does the best that he can. He's bought out for the most part. Then he get out with this blink. It's on cooldown, it looks like. And the Ice Patch will secure his death. EHOME, turn it around. The Ravage comes in. Wings could not take it quick enough. This game is not over yet, Pudge.
That was just perfect timing. What a great usage of Ravage as well. How are they going to take ages if they're stunned? They were able to with the Sand King blinking back in, but EHOME gets a kill additionally. So not only do they get 3 kills, but also the gold advantage of taking a Roche. They didn't snipe the Courier, very close on that, but that's what EHOME needed. It's going to help them out massively in this gold.
The snatch was great for Wings, but they don't get the Roche kill. It goes to EHOME. The gold is going to dip back down at least a little bit, but there's still a massive mountain to climb, I feel like, for EHOME in this game.
Yeah, it is still really difficult, but that is a whole lot better than just losing. And he actually goes for a Blade Mill instead of going for a Blink Dagger. Kind of a cool choice. When Shadow finishes his E-Blade, this is going to give Legion something that he can use to say, please, use your combo on me. And if he can outpredict when Shadow does it, he can actually just kill him right back using the Blade Mill.
Blade picked up. He's going to be done soon, about 1,000 gold, and Wings are back up and alive for the most part. You do have the S&Y picked up for Razor, going for the drum. This is kind of one of the older builds, I feel like, for Razor. Yeah. We've seen a lot of Dragon Lances, we've seen a lot of Boots of Travel, but now it's a bit different here for Blink in this game.
Yeah, it is. It's a little interesting for sure. I do really like the BOT with the S&Y and the Dragonlance build, but this one is definitely higher damage. It's also earlier impact as well. If you went Brown Boots into Drum, that already does something. If he tries to go Brown Boots Dragonlance, his hero's slow, does real mediocre damage. They're going to go for the fight. Can they burst them?
Center, old 11, no Ravage, and it looks like he might be the martyr, although still very tanky. The mech is already gone. It's the Plasma Field that'll do the job for Blink, and Shadow's already on the hunt for more. No Ethereal Blade, but the Adaptive Strike will stop Garter. At least look at this body block from the Replicant coming out. He will use the Snowball on it, but it looks like he might actually get to the high ground. Chain Frost will go. Garter's been caught. There's the Macro Fire. Ice tucks in. They don't do enough damage with the Frostbite. The Burrow Strike, their wings are not against maybe a bit too hard. The duel comes out. He's got the blade on. Old Chicken is going from the top. He's looking with all that damage. They will bring him down. Another good fight for EHOME.
They're kind of doing this. It's working out. They lose the Tidehunter, but he's way tankier than he was before, picking up the Hood. A worse Chain Frost than we've seen before in this game. And 2 big kills. The duel as well, getting dual damage on top of Sylar.
He's got a lot of ground to make up, though. If you look at his dual damage, it shouldn't be that high. I would imagine it's about 40-ish, 38, yeah, roughly around that area.
You know, Mod, I dare say that EHOME has a 30% chance to win this game.
Really? 30?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not sure what the percentage chance is. It's looking bad, but it's getting a lot better. If you look at the net worths, those 2 heroes that are on the top, the Legion as well as the Huskar, they're not too far from the top. Not 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, this game looked unattainable from a victory standpoint. And it's getting better and better. They've got Ravage going into the late game. Duel is an amazing late game ability on top of that. Snowball can be used if you have Blink Dagger to save your ally. The big scary part, though, is that Wings has great solo pickoff potential between Epicenter, between Morphling's E-Blade combo. Razors doesn't really present that kind of a threat, but even things like Bounty, Vision Advantage is good too. But EHOME has some of the tools that they need that they can potentially win fights against Wings.
Shadow Blade pickup coming out after that, a Ethereal Blade pickup for Morphling. And now this Sylar Legion Commander got some mobility, he's got some sneakiness to him, so we'll see if he can find somebody.
In some ways, I like it more. Great snipe.
Okay.
In some ways, I like the Shadow Blade better than the Blink here, just because he's bought it so late. That at least the SP gives him carry potential. Blink doesn't do that. It's just mobility, initiation. Shadow Blade at least gives you max speed and stuff like that.
Replicate out, Shadow able to make it away. Obviously, there wasn't the Lincoln Sphere breaking, so no duel in time, so he'll make it back to space.
If you landed in that Ice Path, though, it could have been a punch, a snowball, something like they could have broken it. That could have been a kill. It's a little scary for him. Luckily, the Ice Path missed.
Razor with an Invis rune.
Someone's got a BKB too.
Yeah.
That'll be great to have against all the disables.
Another great turnaround. Blink has done very well since the beginning of this game, where he was getting pushed back into his tier 1 tower. He wasn't really getting the most farm in the world, but now he has gotten to a point where he's second in net worth, and his team has obviously helped a lot with it. You have the track giving him that influx of gold with all the kills they've gotten. It has been 1 or 2 fights going the way of EHOME, but this is still Wings favored for the time being.
Yeah, the fact that Blink has been essentially off lane in the safe lane versus 3 heroes, especially tough, and that he's the second most farmed hero in the game right now is actually incredible.
Yep.
Barely died in the safe lane, and now is in a position where he's able to compete with the top farmers. It's amazing, really.
Smoke coming out from EHOME. They're wrapping around. Wings do not have their entire team here. They're missing the Lich. They are missing the Razor. Shadow. Smoke break. He waveforms. The Ethereal Blades replicates out. Shadow with the presence of mind and the vision to be able to get that kill on the Jakiro. He picks the perfect target even when they're all clumped up. Innocence now. Still in Viz. Sylar, he is as well with his Shadow Blade. Comes out of it. And they won't lose anybody here somehow.
It was perfect timing there. The ward actually making the biggest difference because he could see the squishy hero. It wasn't just a instant reaction time, just ready to go for the combo. Perfect timing. Jakiro dies and he's instantly out. It actually made it confusing following the hero because it was so fast.
It was pretty much instant. Of course, they do deward the wards that were over at that Uber cliff. So EHOME, they're trying to get this map advantage back.
It's a trade. Dead Jakiro for a ward. I'm into it.
Yeah.
And it costs them a century.
Yeah. I think it's a good trade for Wings. They'll take it. The BKB now done for the Razor. And with that, you have Wings starting to finally continue to take map control, starting to choke out this top lane. And EHOME not really getting as much farm because they can't find it, really.
So Satanic is up next for Huskar here. He's got Dragon Lance as well. See how that works out. There aren't that many stuns or disables on Wings. I kind of like it. As long as you're not stunned, you should always be able to lifesteal. So that's why Satanic gets so good. Not to mention increasing his base HP. Just lower chance of being bursted down by the limited disables there are.
Do you feel like for Wings it's going to be killing the people around the Huskar now, more so that it is actually killing the Huskar, or do you still try to focus him down first and foremost?
It's a hard question, really. I mean, Tusk's got a Glimmer Cape. He's always going to have Snowball. Jakiro can sit so far back and still impact things with Ice Paths. It's getting a little tricky for Wings here until they get some more items. Ags on the Sand King is great and all, but it's going to be a long time until Bounty really contributes past anything defensive. I feel like they need some offensive tools here on Wings' side. The E-Blade is great, but it's not going to do everything. Even Razor, he's more of a right-clicker. They're really lacking disables, and Lich went for the Medallion, the Solar Crest upgrade. Like, it's a good item, but he's only got 860 HP. If he ever gets caught, he just dies.
Yeah. He's had very good positioning so far, but he has died in most of the fights after getting that Chain Frost out.
It's like they all built items and played their strat around winning at that timing push. But because they lost the last 2 fights, especially the Roche one, EHOME is within reaching distance of getting back in this game. And that's got to be really scary for Wings, especially after they spend a lot of their items on, or a lot of their gold on items that only give you this like mid-game win.
This is almost like what EHOME did to Easy yesterday in that best of 3 series. I mean, obviously, there was an Alch in that game, so it's a lot different in both of those games. But Wings, they're not quite capable of getting that high ground push. Maybe they're waiting for Roche. Maybe they're waiting for another pick.
And it's always the same principles too. It's this one tanky guy in the front of EHOME that's difficult to kill, that does a lot of damage. And they're going to do their best to keep him alive, and that's what they've got here in their formula. It's a Huskar, or it's a Legion Commander. Both of the heroes, great at reflecting a lot.
Roche is up in 42 seconds. A pretty quick respawn time. This might be where we see our next bit of action, and potentially a colossal fight. We'll leave the Replicate to scout and try to bring down a ward or two. They'll drop the Sentry themselves. It looks like EHOME will get the better end of the warding battle.
That was a big loss. I guess the Illusions can miss uphill, but heroes can't. That's what that looks like. Unless he's just doing actually terrible damage. Doesn't look like he's got a lot of agility items.
Replicate, yeah.
I guess you can miss uphill.
There's the No, they're just trying to scout it out. I mean, this is very close to when the timing is for Roshan respawn.
Replicate's great in this case, especially with Razor. All these stats, maybe this is part of the plan with his build, that he was a little bit more movement speed. I mean, it's pretty similar. Very similar build to the other one. But
The Replicant walks out as Roshan respawns, so they won't know that it's up right now, but if, even if they did, I don't think they fight or go into Roshan until they get a kill. EHOME, they'll actually find the initiation. There's the press speed attack. Imperial Blade has did enough damage. Not yet. Still pretty tanky. Has the Satanic, like we talked about. Armlet's still on. Good attempt coming out from Wings, the Burrow Strike and the Aggregate Scepter, but it's not there to get the kill.
a lot of this comes down to when Shadow presses BKB. If there is a Tide Ravage and maybe a dual follow-up and Huskar hitting him, he can just die at the start.
No Blink Dagger initiation coming out from the side hunter. Face Beyond on the side. He's got an Epicenter ready. Now pushing up his EHOME. Track is still up on Salar and Old Chicken. Face Beyond is in a very good position.
They got wards everywhere though, and they have control of the cliff on Roach as well, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they did. They still do, but it's only for a couple seconds longer.
Should be enough. This is actually crazy how close. They're staying so close to each other, they're waiting on the verge of initiation, but neither team really feels like they have the upper hand here. Wings has to be so careful. With a Lich support, with a Bounty support, those heroes are going to become worse and worse over time. He misses the link. They're going to fight now.
He has no damage. They're looking for a Gush initiation. Wave form. Shadow's got in. BKB. Mirage, but can they break Salar down? Absolutely. The Walrus punch. Here's the Chain Frost bouncing it again. So far, not that much great damage. Ice Charge. Right to the Snowball will go. The Magnifier is up. Shadow has to wait for it. His BKB now is up. Epicenter is about to come in. Burrow on to 2. And they bring his Huskar down. Do they have the damage? Old 11 forced to use the Ravage. Good defensive one, but Old 11 might very well fall. Old Chicken now looking for Shadow on the other side. Only a couple more left for EHOME to do some damage, and Old Chicken trying to go toe-to-toe, but Shadow finds the double, and Old 11 is going to stay in the trees alive. But that might be it. Oh, the Plasma Field, it didn't get vision. It was so close.
Good escape there. 3 dead heroes, so the Legion Commander pick off at the start of the fight was amazing for Wings there, and that's all because they got on the side. Able to hit him from the back. No BKB on him just yet, just the Shadow Blade, and as soon as he didn't pop Blade Mail in reaction to the initiation or Shadow Blade to dodge it, just guaranteed the fight win. They did their best though. They got the Sanking kill. The Ravage looks great, let the Huskar heal up, but they needed somebody else to do damage.
Yeah.
The Legion was already dead.
That's the big thing. It's a very good point. It just felt like there was no damage coming out from EHOME at a certain point after Sylar was gone. Not able to help out with the duel. And that will be Roach for them. So Wings, they had a couple of bad fights previously. Although you do see EHOME coming in, but this time they will not have a Ravage, nor will they have positioning to get Roshan or contest it. But Wings do get a good fight after losing so many in a row.
The expected outcome, really, considering the gold advantage, especially the heroes that Wings has. EHOME's not out of this yet, though, but the problem is that now they can't really fight for a long time until Ravage comes back up. Just such a good skill. Bounty Hunter's still lacking some items, looking like he's almost got his pipe finished. But still somehow not. Maybe a Blink Dagger would be better. Track actually was a big deal in the last fight, but some of the tree juking that went on was easily shut down with it. But Wings is going to keep doing what's working, push up the lanes, get the map control, and eventually take a fight.
I'm kind of shocked that he doesn't have that next big item like that fight or whatever he might want.
He's just been scouting, you know. Not too much ganking really has gone on. There's been a lot of kills this game, but they've been at various points. And he's still probably spending most of his income on wards and things like that.
It comes back to like that first 4-for-1 exchange Blitz Chain Frost where he didn't have track. We talked about it, like, oh yeah, they're going to scale up fine. The Bounty Hunter doesn't get, much gold because he didn't have track at that point.
Yeah, he was just so underleveled that by the time they finally were commanding, they were so far ahead that EHOME didn't even want to play.
Yeah. Force Stab coming out,
much needed.
Hurricane fight probably for Huskar as well.
Yeah, now he can Blink initiate, he can Stun initiate, Force Staff out, Stun, Blink out. He's got 3 mobility abilities now.
He's going to have to stay alive if they're going to have a chance at fighting. He just picks up the full Hurricane spike as previously mentioned. The Glyph will go, Ice Charge. Shadow, he does have a new limited Yagsha and the Aegis Replicate. It's a tanky Tide in the front lines. I'll try to bring it down and will. Old Chicken, the Burning Spears does a very good job of it.
It looks like Sylar's picking up a Halberd here. I think probably to break Lincoln's, or he's trying to finish a challenge. It's one of those two. It's a hard one, man. I did it on Legion as well. It was pretty useful. I actually does break Lincoln's quite nicely.
They have some good. That was the issue earlier on in the game. They weren't breaking Linkings for Shadow. That was and the duel was a big part of maybe keeping him locked down too. So now they have the ability to break Linkings. They have the Hurricane Pike. You have a couple of other items and abilities that can do so. Maybe they can bring down Shadow for the first time, or the first time in a long time. Like,
Oh, too, he's going to E-Blade that one. He puts Shadow pretty low.
Blade Mill comes out. Yeah, the Shadow is going to walk back. He's regenning pretty quickly, all things considered, and he still has that Aegis. But again, EHOME are stalling. They're doing a good job of keeping this high ground safe and secure. But we'll see if they can turn something around. They go for a smoke, perhaps, or do you just stay high ground and wait for the Aegis, perhaps? Or
I mean, that's the hard part. There's vision advantage on Wings. They have the gem control. EHOME does not have a gem. They also have to worry about a bounty hunter running around. They've got Sanking, who's very difficult to catch if he does spot them. And even Morphling is a hard lockdown. They'd have to initiate, find him with Shadow Blade, then break his Lincolns, then duel him, and then have follow-up damage when Wings isn't in the area to Burrow Strike or to land other disables. It's just very difficult. Although I do love the Blade Mail potential. Pop Blade Mail, force the Morphling to hit you. You should be able to beat him with your right clicks in addition to the Blade Mail Reflect.
there is a BKB up on the Morphling, though. But again, with all this damage coming out,
It'll all be physical reflection
Yeah.
with Blade Mail, so
Yeah, right.
you should be able to kill him, I think, if they get the duel off. But the hard part is getting in close enough, breaking Lincolns, and then dueling.
this is no easy task for either team. For EHOME to defend and keep this game somewhat even, and for Wings to push high ground, even with an Aegis. It's still a tough test for them. They have obviously the top net worth hero, Morphling, doing very well. Razor's starting to maybe fall off. You can see the Huskars eclipsed him in terms of net worth. Woman, Shadow wants to kill, won't find it. The Glimmer Cape does come out in time. The Jakiro will survive. Salah was looking for a duel. The Lincoln Spear was broken. It is still for about 5 seconds, but Salah doesn't have a blink initiation. Can't quite go in.
They can't really
Ravage.
They can't really duel against Aegis. It's just he'll come back alive.
It's about a minute and a half to a minute before Aegis is gone. He just goes up to the high ground. Shadow still will take a lot of damage. They get the duel off. It's of course the Aegis, but still not dead yet. It looks like it will be a duel victory. Aegis now gone. You have to be careful with how Wings approach. Max Fire has to use. Ravage is still up. They get the Ice Path off. There's the Ravage. Straight push. He might not be able to get out in time. They just chase on counter initiation to Burrow Strike. And Sylar does get saved by the snowball. Walrus Punch on a face beyond. He's okay for the time being. Has no blink. He's got no Burrow for 3. Looks like he might fall. Gets the Ghost Scepter. Trying to get away here. The Zero Blade actually came through. Great Burrow Strike on the 3. Epicenter does get off in time. Isn't enough damage. What's coming in? He's got no Static Link. The Plasma Field. Static Link was up. Darter. Snowball. Nobody dead. EHOME might actually survive with everyone here.
Dude, they're doing amazing with this fight. I can't believe it.
They're going to find Innocence too. The Ice Path is up.
They're going to save it.
No, waiting. They are just... They do. They actually have...
Oh, they do. It's on the... Well, it's on the bounty. They actually don't have it on the Dire team.
You have no detection.
Oh, I love what Sylar's doing here. Go ahead. Your Invis is going to run out eventually.
Oh.
It's pretty soon here.
I think they might... well,
yeah.
The thing is, Innocence has the gem, so he knows that Sylar is
good
following
point.
him.
That's a solid point, Mott. You got me.
This game is so topsy-turvy. I don't even know what's happening in half of these fights. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The counter initiation coming out from the Burrow Strike is a pretty good epicenter, but EHOME with the Ravage, they're able to take down the Morphling once with the duel, then the Ravage comes out, takes him down a second time.
Kept him out of position after the Ice Path. That's like 5 seconds of stun, and they were able to throw a macro power on top of that. The only part that got a little iffy was that the Blade Mail and Legion should have came out a little faster, but it allowed them to kill the Morphling a second time. And then after that, it's kind of straightforward. They caught the Sand King on the right side. It was a great snowball save. Oh, the other huge part was the force coming out of, I believe, Huskar to push the Sand King away so that the Epicenter did much less damage. That was also team fight winning. And now Wings has got to be absolutely terrified of this game. That's one lost team fight too much. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. They don't have stuns. They don't have utility items. They're having trouble keeping the Morphling alive. Even something like a Force Staff might have changed everything, but Bounty instead has a hood. He's also got an ultimate orb that's going to be a Lincoln's or a Hex almost entirely for sure. Hopefully not a Scotty.
Yeah, that would be
game
interesting, to say the very least. Speaking of Scott, I was going to mention this. The Morphling, like you said, has trouble surviving in some of these engagements. The BKB is not helping as much as you would like. The Lincoln Sphere is getting broken. They're doing a good job of it. Do you go for the Scotty? Do you go for another item that might keep you alive as a Shadow on the Morphling?
It's a harder question. I think something like a Butterfly is super valuable this game, to be honest. Scotty is also kind of the same vein. In some ways, I really don't like the fact that he picked up Manta. It's great at pushing lanes that you're not in. That's what the best value about it is, that you can push lanes without fear of death. But when you get dueled by somebody, having a Scotty is a better item. Lots of HP, armor. You lower their attack speed. It's not a damage item really. It's a halfway between items, so you're not going to reflect as much onto yourself with Blade Mail. Butterfly is kind of similar in that way, but the danger is really they want to push the lane. That gives him more control. He's forced to go Manta, and now his next item's harder. He can get MKB to deal with the Halberd. He can go Butterfly to dodge attacks and force Legion to actually grab a MKB of his own. that might be the better choice, but like you said, he still is having some survivability problems. That's real clear.
It also feels like there's a bit of a damage problem for Wings in terms of the Morphling. Garter didn't, or excuse me, Blink didn't get off a full static Wing, so maybe that's part of it too. But they have plenty of halberds. I believe they might have 2. They do have 1 on the Huskar that they just picked up, unless Styler didn't get. He does have 1, so they do have 2 Heaven's halberds up for EHOME right now. And they could, again, it's about breaking the linkage, but they have so many ways to do that now that it's also, they will keep the disarm on him for a fair bit of time.
Yeah, disarm's actually amazing in a lot of late game scenarios. If the pros put the stun bars on rather than turning them off, it can actually help you win team fights, because half the time you just don't notice. You might think, why is my hero not attacking? Because your hero is within range to attack, but he can't attack, so it just seems like he's stunned. Little disables like that can actually make a huge impact, oftentimes from Invoker.
And the game goes long enough, there's so many different things to worry about. You saw in that last team fight how chaotic it is. That's definitely some good reasoning for Wings. I mean, maybe use the stun bars. Roche is back up, I think it's another short respawn with 38 seconds respawning here pretty soon. Yeah, it's very quick again. And EHOME, this might be to their advantage now. They might be able to get another Aegis, and she's going their way.
All depends on the lanes pushing out. Boots of Travel is next for the Morphling, so you can control the map. He's actually going to go, I saw Helmet Dominator. Yes, he is actually going Satanic. Great choice there. More armor, much more HP, solves a lot of these issues that we're talking about with having to deal with Blade Mail, and this means that he can just pop his Satanic and usually heal up to full. He's got to worry about evasion and disarm. That's the big counter, actually.
Look at that. They find Styler. The Burrow Strike in. The Yules will come out now, looking for more heroes to come in on Wings to side press the attack. Ice Shards should block this off and does nicely.
They're just dewarding. That's all.
Garter on his favorite Tusk. But here comes Shadow, Ethereal Blade, Old 11. He's able to get out pretty easily, cracking shells off immediately and just starts walking.
It did waste his pipe, though.
Her cape is dangerous. Yeah, the pipe is up for only a moment longer. EHOME still looking to go back in. They have that jam, or at least they should. Wave comes up, Shadow pops the BKB. The kill gets out. Now, this might be a win coming out for the Morphling, and will be good Ravage. But there's the Cage Cross again. Usually Zero Blade up onto the Huskar as well. Dacian comes in with another Burrow Strike. They want to kill him on him. They'll find it. 2 dead. They buy back on Styler. Old Chicken still going to work. Link is now in. Statically, the plasma field. Triple kill. Epicenter comes down. They will find Old Chicken. It looks like no. Up to Satanic. He's healing up. He's able to do some good damage. Now the adaptive strike. And he gets saved by the snowball for now. Dacian forced away. Burrow Strike. He gets one off before death. They won't go down. And Old Chicken. He will finally fall into the Imperial Blade. And a Rampage coming up. Can he get the double? He gets the double Rampage. Shadow stays alive longer than everybody else. He outlasts all of the heroes in the game, and he finds himself a double Rampage.
What an expert team fight performance from him. We caught him cleaning up the Jakiro. It looked like Wings was dead in the water. Huskar just absolutely wouldn't die. But finally, he gets a nuke on him, and he cleans him up, including the buyback from Legion. What a team fight, my god.
That was the biggest bloodbath you might very well see in Dota. Old Chicken forced to buy back. Styler will die yet again, a dieback for him. And Shadow is alone pushing the mid. Tier 3 tower will go up to top. Cliff goes preemptively. Shadow's forced to back away.
Yeah, he had his replicate up there as he got his Rampage. Allows him to TP home, head back again to pressure, force a buyback on his opponent. That was just... Dude, that might as well been a triple Rampage with how much value he got out after that kill.
Yeah, that was some impressive play from Shadow.
And he now has a Satanic.
Yeah.
Like, after all of this, the BKB press was really what won them the fight, though. As soon as he initiated in on the Legion, he hesitated just enough to force out his opponent's duel, pops BKB right before that, and does everything. Just enough lifesteal to offset the damage you're taking. I don't even know if I saw Blade Mail on the Legion or not. Certainly EHOME wasn't ready to initiate that fight. And Morphling killing the Legion right at the start won them the fight.
It comes down to the mobility again, the movement in these team fights, the Burrow Strikes from the Sand King, the Ravages from the Tidehunter, just solid positioning all around. And Wings are able to outlast EHOME. They're proving why they are the TI champions. They are trying to get to the grand finals of one of the first major lands since that tournament. And Wings proving that they're still very strong. But they have still a while to go before they can win this game. No tier 3s have been taken. No Rax is down with that said.
Old Chicken's been really difficult to kill, though. The Razor's helping. He's sapping some damage, but he just hits so hard and he doesn't die either.
He's going for an armor nade, and next he's got the plate mail up, so perhaps an AC coming in.
Razor's having some trouble transitioning his build, actually.
Ravage is back up, by the way. Everybody is alive. This is a tough test for Wings, and I don't know if they will continue in this Roche pit. In fact, they back away. They smoke up themselves.
I love the wraparound. This is so good. They saw the sigil. They know their opponents are there.
EHOME.
Now they're going to approach from the side.
EHOME will go right to where Wings were just positioned in their own jungle. And more dodging of team fights will, not intentionally.
This is a counterclockwise position swap. This is an interesting spell.
You guys go here, we'll go over here. But now Wings have positioned themselves in such a way that they could go for a tier 3. There's no glyph.
They have the high ground. You can't fight them.
Now, of course, Old Chicken's walking up. He's looking. He's
got
some
everything.
Innocence vision coming out. He gets the Burrow Strike, press the attack immediately. Old Chicken is so tanky, 3k HP, not to mention so much armor. Life break, they break the Lincoln Sphere. Ice Patch will come next. Can he get out? Replicate's not there. Shadow hops to BKB. He wants to rack, he'll find it. Force Tap away the Hurricane Pipe from Old Chicken. Dealing some nice work on Blink, but he's pretty tanky himself. Garter looking for maybe some Snowball initiation. They won't be able to find anyone, not yet. Salar, the Replicate is there. They have vision with a track up too.
Would have been huge if they were able to duel the Morphling before he waveformed out there, but just couldn't get him. Barracks is picked up. BKB cooldown is lost on the Morphling, but that poor creep.
That creep
rests forever.
Thank you, JJ. At least you gave it a respectful send-off. Gush, Replicate, yeah, you know, face beyond. But well, maybe I could bait this. Burrow Strike comes out onto 2. He's going to force himself away, blink up to 1. Uses the Sandstorm to try to get out a little bit quicker. Half health coming out for Old Chicken.
It's a little scary.
Did he pump the Satanic?
Sylar wants to duel this.
He has the Satanic still. Another great Burrow onto 2. That Aghanim such a range is absurd. Old Chicken, Adaptive Strike. He's looking for damage on Shadow. Can't find it. More tracks coming out for Wings.
This should be a kill.
Lot him. Yeah. He with that fight. I don't see you living. But he does give up a good Ice Path. Waveform forward in 2. Old Bonham might be able to stay alive and get out, but he is low. Another Burrow on it. The Chain Boss is gonna bounce. Sylar and Old Chicken in trouble. They will get off a waveform statically. Old Chicken cannot survive long enough. He's dead with no buyback. The Chain Boss continuing to do work. FP Center, good Snowball save avoiding a lot of that damage, but Garter still will fall when it's all said and done. 2 dead and a huge pickup, and just like that, it's GG. Wings will move on to the grand final.
What an amazing series. What a game to close it out. Super close. EHOME did their absolute best to take it to Wings there. It looked like Wings had the game in the bag, but they made it real close.
That was something else. Like you mentioned, amazing series. All 3 games. First game a little bit one-sided perhaps in Wings' favor, but game 2 and 3, just a lot of fun to watch, really.
They really were.